Welcome to Choosing Acceptance podcast with your host, Marie Mason. I am here to share some success stories and tips on how to overcome your learning disability so that you can turn your talents into a career. And I love to inspire children and parents and teachers with learning disabilities to go beyond their limits so that they can make a bigger impact in the world. Schedule a call to become a guest on our show at calendly.com/Marie V. Mason. Welcome back to the Choosing Acceptance podcast with your host, Marie Mason. And my background includes former preschool teacher, podcast consultant, business strategy coach, speaker and author. Our podcast is about helping adults that are college age and above to embrace their learning disabilities. We inspire adults with learning disabilities to go beyond their limits so they can make a bigger impact in the world. We share resources on how to overcome your learning difficulties so that you can turn your talents into a career in order to help you define who you are. Today's topic is on 3 tips on promoting respect for learning disabled individuals. And just a quick tip, we are going to have a little different kind of situation because I've got a guest co-host today. So before we bring up today's guest co-host, we are going to share the top tips of the week. This week's top tips are all about promoting respect for learning disabled individuals. And let me get that. So the 3 quick tips on promoting respect for learning disabled individuals is be patient and understanding, focus on strengths, not limitations, and providing accommodations and support. Let me get into a little more detail on that. So it's all about promoting respect for learning disabled individuals and helping people to learn that they need to be patient and understanding with people with different learning difficulties. They don't always grasp it right away, so you've got to give them time to learn it or practice it. One of the most important ways to show respect to learning disabled students or coworkers is to be patient with them. Understand that they may require more time to process information or tasks and avoid rushing or pressuring them. Listen attentively and to allow them to express themselves without interruption. Because one of the things I have learned, not just with myself, but others with learning difficulties, if you interrupt them, it gets them frustrated. By being patient and understanding, you can create a supportive environment that encourages their learning and their professional growth. Focus on their strengths, not their limitations. It's crucial to approach learning disabled students or coworkers from a strengths-based perspective. Acknowledge and appreciate their unique abilities, talents, and skills. Avoid labeling or defining them solely based on their disabilities. By highlighting their strengths, you can build confidence and promote their positive self-image. Encouraging individuals' progress and celebrating achievements can boost motivation and foster a sense of belonging. And 3, providing accommodations and support is in a creative and inclusive environment by offering necessary accommodations and support to learning disabled students or coworkers. This may include providing additional resources, modified assignments, assistive technologies, or appropriate workplace adjustments. By accommodating their specific needs, you demonstrate respect for their learning styles and abilities. Involve them in the process of determining the most effective and supportive strategies as it empowers them to be respected to themselves. Remember, treating individuals with respect involves recognizing their unique characteristics, valuing their contributions, and creating an environment where they can thrive and reach their full potential. And that is achievable. Before I bring up today's guest speaker, Zac Jarrad, and actually he's really a guest co-host, here is a word from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this commercial break. I'm Marie Mason. I am a business strategy coach. I run a mastermind group for online business owners where our members get to network, collaborate, and learn from one another in an exclusive environment. Our Business Academy takes a modern approach to business solutions by incorporating the latest technology and strategies to ensure that you hire a qualified team to handle your workflows. Welcome back to the Tuesday Executives podcast with your host, Marie Mason. Today's guest is actually our guest host or co-host, and his name is Zac Jarrad. Zac has provided consulting services since 2020 for businesses, nonprofits, and K-12 groups across the United States. Zac enjoys helping organizations and multiple generational teams to achieve success. His extensive background in project management, agile and gamification, as well as working across different age groups, has served him well to assist organizations in improving productivity, delivering project results, and communication between younger and older generations in the workplace. He is currently writing an intergenerational book with the millennials in mind. And today's topic is on integrating AI software tools with your workflows. So, Zac, do you have any questions for me?
Okay. Have you looked at ChatGPT at all?
Yes, I have explored the free version, and my business partner, Mark, has got the paid version now. So between us, we can definitely use that too. Is there something on there that you wanted to mention?
Not really. I was just wondering, because you said you're launching your business academy, so I didn't know if you had like a part in there about AI or technology or.
I have a section where Heidi is the life coach, and one of my students at the time, but she also had some valuable tools. She's like the queen of tools. Mm-hmm. And as far as resources were concerned, so we did a whole section, including having a worksheet where we talked about tools and which ones, and some were free and some were not. So some might have like a free trial, that kind of stuff. So we did have like a whole worksheet where we did on tools. And we discussed how you needed tools to integrate some of your workflows. Because sometimes you need to have like a booking one for, booking a calendar, the Calendly, the book calls or something like that. And then you needed to have one for like lead generation, one for social media, one for this, different processes like your marketing, your content, creation. Those are different things. And then AIs are great tools as well. And there's so many. I probably need to do an updated version of that and add in AI as well. So that's a good point. But yeah, we did do a good discussion on tools. So that's a good point. So, but I don't think we did much with AI at the time because I think AI was barely even thought of or relatively new. And I don't think we had experience with AIs yet at that time. I've had lots of experiences with AI since then, so I could probably get a better updated talk on that too. So thank you for that tip. So do you have any suggestions for that, or for that kind of what to say about that?
I would just say to be careful. I mean, I'm still trying to kind of get my hand around. I'm a little skeptical of it, because I'm concerned I feel like some people might overuse it, and so it'll take away like some like creativity and originality. But the other part is the copyright. So it's like if you have an AI create something, like do you really own it? Or like if someone else asked the AI a prompt, like would it give two different people the same thing? And then would it be hard to tell like who owns what or whatnot?
I'll add that into my marketing one. So I want to put that into my notes here to follow up with. And you have a good valid point. A lot of people were worried about it not having your voice mixed in. So what I've always said to people is, here's what you need to do. Thank you for this, by the way.
Yeah, that was a story I just saw. It said that like a quarter of all jobs, like there's going to be major disruption from AI doing stuff. And I think that includes small businesses because I think there's opportunities for efficiency, but I think it comes down to just seeing it as a tool. Like it's not the end all be all. And it's not like we're just going to go sit in a room and like do nothing.
Right, right.
But it allows us to do more. And I think part of it is you've got to see it as a tool and find places where you can use it.
Right. So here's an example. I use AI. I am loving the Niches AI that I got through AppSumo, and it's still available as an app on there. And I love it because what it does is similar to ChatGPT. And what it does is it generates scripts for me and generates, like I can have a script for a podcast. I can have a script for things. It doesn't take away, but here's what I've had to learn. Because it's an AI, it makes mistakes. You have to, and here's what I tell people when they are using AIs. You have to, one, review it for 2 or 3 things. And the first one is mistakes. They're going to make mistakes on the wording. They're going to make mistakes on things of spelling, etc., because they're not perfect. It's technology, not a human. And you have to teach it. That's one of the things about AI. Number 2, you have to teach it. You have to train it. You have to make sure that it gets used to you and your voice and how you do things. And 3, you have to make sure you go in there and edit it so that it does have your voice. And sometimes you have to edit the flow of the context because sometimes it's not. Because I would go in and read those texts just to practice it. And then I really realized I'd have to go in and edit a lot of how the flow went because it didn't quite mesh with it. Yeah, you have to kind of make sure that you polish it up, and then you had to make sure it sounded like you and not like an AI robot or a technology thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you're talking about blending the two together, basically.
Right. You still have to humanize it with your voice and your tone and making sure that the concepts flow and making sure that it sounds good. But at the same time, it's good for brainstorming. Like if you are stuck mentally and overthinking something about how to write a script or how to write a book. Niches, by the way, also helps write with books too. I was really surprised, and emails and all sorts of cool things. But the long story short of it is you still need to add your brain power to it. But what it does is it gives you a framework to work with, and then you could go in and make edits and changes to it to make sure it flows the way you want it to flow and sound more like you.
Right. So it's like an AI assisted tasks. But part of how I think about it, it's like what stuff we can fully automate. That's like lower level tasks, like labor intensive. What stuff we can partially automate or have AI assist us with. And then what stuff that we should do that AI should not be doing.
Right. So creating content needs to be something and that's a good question. So creating content is something that you need to collaborate with the AI with and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the regards to the completely letting them handle the tasks all on their own, I think things like sending out your marketing sequences, sending out your all your little emails and social media sequences, that's in the marketing department. That would be a great way they can handle that on their own. All you do is just set up the frameworks and the emails and write out the messages and then have them generate the scheduling and stuff like that.
Right. Or like reminders or prompts like, hey, thank you for your appointment today.
remove that piece. That's an admin job that you could easily replace. And then if you want someone to go in and respond to that on a more human level, that's when you would hire an admin or somebody or some kind of freelancer to do that human to human touch, like a customer service type position. Because you still want to have a human being to answer things to, and not just a chat bot that is set to certain filters. What if you have a question that somebody else does not have or thought of, and it's not in their chat? I broke in some of the filtering on some of those chat bots because I had a question that was unique and they didn't know how to answer it. And so it kind of got into the spinning wheel of, I can't think of it. So anyway, so it was just, that's why you need a human being for some of it. I feel like you can't completely replace a human being, but you can minimize how much they have to do, if that makes sense, by automating some pieces to it. And as far as the things that they should not do, I think I just answered it. You cannot replace a human being for answering the questions that are not set up in your filters. I mean, you really need to have that human-to-human connection. Otherwise, it's not, I mean, the tools are great, but they shouldn't replace that human-to-human connection.
Or maybe the chat is like a level 1. So it's like basic support. And then if that doesn't cut through, then like it escalates to like a level 2, which would be a person.
Right, exactly. You can use the AI as a filtering process to get to a real person. And that really is a good way of blending the two together. But again, you still have to use your brain power. You still have to make sure that your voice is in there. And you still have to make sure that you're connecting as a real person with a client, because they have to get to know, like, and trust you, and they can't do that through an AI. I'm sorry. That is one thing that you can never do, is you can never replace the AI with that, if that makes sense. Sorry.
At least not in like our lifetimes, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's some stuff I've been dabbling with more. Is it's called Quality 4.0. So it's looking at where quality is today and the fourth industrial revolution. So I've been doing a few talks about that. I have one I'll be doing in Philadelphia, basically like a short overview of it. But and I have an article, I think it's coming out this summer, that's kind of like a primer. So that's something else I've kind of been looking at more. And then facilitation, because I think with technology, as organizations get flatter, you're going to have people that can be the bridge between people that work in like different departments, or they have like different ways of thinking or whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's a good point. And you need to make sure that you have, like I said, the right balance between humans working with your clients, as well as with tools that can help automate some of the workflows. There's some things, like I said, you just can't replace that human connection. It just is, AIs are great for certain low maintenance tasks, and they're time savers once you have everything set. But you do need to take the time, like I said to people, when you choose your AIs, choose them one at a time for any software. And I always tell people to make sure that you take that time to learn that software, because it is a time-consuming project. It's like anything. You're going to have that time if you're going to get software, you need time to learn it, if that makes sense. So hopefully that helps too. So people have to understand that whatever they invest in with tools, they have to have that time frame to learn it and put it to good use. Otherwise,
and the commitment too.
Yes.
They have to keep it for a while.
Right. They have to keep it a while and make sure that they're getting the good value for it and testing it out. Otherwise, it's a waste of money and time. Does that make sense?
Yep,
so
it does.
Yeah, that's something I've always, and even when I was talking with Heidi, my life coach, and that helps me with some of the training in the course. One of the things when we mentioned the tools, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that whatever tool you use to work with, choose to work with, choose one at a time, and then learn it, get familiar with it, and see what it also integrates with too. I think that's the part people don't realize. You need to know what you want it to integrate with. So if you get tools that don't integrate with each other very well, then you're wasting time and money too.
Yeah, well, and you're losing efficiency.
Exactly.
So
you need to make sure things are going to work well with your systems and processes and how you operate your business. Because I think that falls under what business operations.
Yep.
So you need to be very clear about what that is and how to streamline it efficiently so that they all talk to each other.
Yep.
If that makes any sense.
No, it does. I hate to say it, I've got to go in a minute.
Oh no, but I hope that helped you at least.
No, it does, because I've been trying to figure that out, like where AI fits. Because as I've studied where quality is today, I feel like everybody focuses too much on the technology and they forget that people will still be there. But then the other part is that I feel like it's not being addressed well is what do we do? So it's like we're all here in the present. This change is all coming. What can our organizations do to be successful or to adapt? And then what can we do as individuals to thrive in this environment? So I'm kind of looking deeper at that as well.
So this probably gave you some good ideas, huh?
Yep.
What is the main takeaway that our audience can apply now? I really want to encourage you to consider integrating AI software tools with your workflows. Can really help you to automate and optimize various aspects of your business. However, you should be mindful of the potential drawbacks of overusing AI, such as losing creativity, speaking in your natural voice, the learning curve in using tools, and originality. At the same time, don't be afraid to test out tools that can help you to automate your workflows and save you time. Here are some tools that can really help you with the following, like lead generation, search engine tools such as app.clora or Claudeura.ai, spelled CLODURA.ai. These links will be in the description box. Also, appointment setting tools such as Chatbox, BOTS, and the one that I like to start, that I'm starting to use and starting to like, is app.aminos.ai. Calendar tools such as tidycal.com or even Calendly. Design and publish your social media campaigns using software like Postly.ai. Email campaigns such as sendfox.com, and content creation tools such that where you can generate blog posts, newsletters, and other content are Assistify.com, Niches.com, as well as ChatGTP, so that you can free up more of your valuable time. I literally save about 30 hours a week just using these tools to automate some of my workflows. And I encourage you to check them out. The links will be in the description box. And if you are stuck on where you need to go with what tools to use, I'll be happy to point you in a direction on a short 30-minute call and give you a quick tip here and there. If you want to go on a deeper dive, we also have private coaching sessions available as well. Please go to my website at www.businesssolutionsacademy.com and schedule a call with me. I'll be more than happy to work with you. In the meantime, and I hope you got lots of valuable tips from today's session. So one of the things I always ask my guest speakers is, what do you have to share with our audience today? Well, our speaker today is Marie Mason, but our guest host today is Zac Jarrad. So since I am recording some of this separately, I know that he would probably want to share a quick little answer, and that is, feel free to connect with Zac Jarrad on LinkedIn. He does have a website, and he does have a calendar link. You could go and book a call with him, and it'll be the best investment of your time. He is really, really good at what he does. And I do hope you connect with him. He's really easy to talk to, and we've become really good friends over the last couple of years. So feel free to reach out to Zac Jarrad. Tell him Marie Mason sent you from the Choosing Acceptance podcast. So what is Marie Mason's offer for our audience today? Well, here's the question for you. That actually is directed to me, I think, but do you have any free resources for our audience today that can help people with their learning difficulties? Here's something I wanted to mention. If you are searching to find a supportive community and mixed with teachers, professionals, and parents with disabled children of all ages, I really encourage you to join our private Facebook group for additional support and resources, and that's at Bubble Bear Books membership on Facebook. I totally encourage you to go. We're trying to get more active in that group, but I believe that the more people we add to that group, the more active you'll become. And then the next one is, I have a book that's out, and I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to see the world through a dyslexic child's eyes, to see it in their viewpoint? Well, I'm the author of Bubble Bear's Special Problem. This book destigmatizes learning disabilities in order to provide a better understanding of their learning process. It helps children to overcome the fear of learning disabilities so they can contribute their talents by bringing awareness to how children should be treated in and out of the classroom. I have it on Amazon. I also have it on, and it's by the book title. And I also have it on the Barnes & Noble website, and it's also on Walmart website as well. So love to sit there and get more views on that book. It is really a simple, easy children's read. It's like 32 to 38 pages, so it's really easy print. So it's not going to be too taxing on your time. And I'm finding that the adults are liking the book as much as the kids. So feel free to go and check it out. I'd love to get your viewpoints on it. And I got more books coming. However, right now I got to focus on some other parts of my life right now to take care of a few things, and putting the book projects on hold, but I am going to be marketing the first book. So feel free to share these links with people. Also, I had shared the TidyCal link as well, so please feel free to book a call with me if you would like help with getting your figuring out what kind of software might be best for your business workflows and maybe help free up more of your time. And if you want like a deeper dive, then we could do a paid coaching session for an hour, and it's pretty reasonable priced. So I'd love to sit there and help you figure all that out if you're stuck. So let's help you get clarity on that. I wanted just to sit there and take a quick time here to sit there and say it's been a really honor to be able to share some valuable tips to help our audience grow themselves and their business on the Choosing Acceptance podcast. Our topic, integrating AI software tools with your workflows. I want to encourage you to take advantage of the offers, because I'm going to share some of our links with you with those software links so that you can get some tips on there and maybe save some money. And I really would like to encourage you to take advantage of those offers also from our speaker and myself. Well, our guest co-host really and myself. And then that's we'll be having those links on our YouTube channel and anywhere you see this on social media. It'll be in a post. It'll also be in an email. So please check that out. You will be so glad that you took advantage of the copy of my book, which is also on Amazon, Walmart, and also Barnes & Noble bookstores, websites, and wherever you see it on social media. So join us again for our next episode for great tips on how to overcome your learning disabilities and achieve success. We stream on our YouTube channel every week. We try to do it on Sundays, but it's going to vary during the holiday season and probably for the first couple of months of the 2024, just because I am dealing with a lot of I'm moving, so my schedule is going to be a little bit crazy for the next 2 or 3 months. So bear with me. We will get back on track once all my housing situation gets straight. So it's a good thing, but it's a good thing, and it's just something that we just have to take care of. So please bear with me. That's why December I haven't had as much time to do the podcast as I would like. So that will change. Hopefully we'll get all of them done and focus on that. So you can definitely find us on our YouTube channel, Choosing Acceptance Podcast, and our Facebook group, Choosing Acceptance Podcast on Facebook. Please make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it. We would love to get the support. And until next time, I'm your host, Marie Mason, saying goodbye from the Choosing Acceptance Podcast. And from our guest co-host, Zac Jarrad. And here is a word from one of our sponsors. Have a great week, everyone. And I can't believe that we are wrapping up 2023 and going into 2024. So that ends this week's show, and you have a good one. Bye.
My name is Marie Mason. I am the author of Bubble Bear Special Problem, and this book destigmatizes learning disabilities in order to provide a better understanding of their learning disability process. It helps children to overcome their fear of learning disabilities so that they can contribute their talents by bringing awareness to how children should be treated in and out of the classroom. If you would like more to learn about this book, then go to Amazon.com and check out Bubble Bear Special Problem by Marie Mason.